this is Mish, and welcome to this Twin Peaks Season 3 Theories video. Being a theories video, this will contain spoilers. Because we didn't get an episode this week, I thought I'd do a quick theories video on the last episode, as we have many questions unanswered and been given a lot more mystery. So I guess the main question I want to try and answer from this little video is, what was the purpose and the result of the egg that hatched and the subsequent creature crawling into the girl's mouth? I think we have a few options as to what is going on in this scene. I have a few theories. Most of them are very similar to some of the thoughts that I've read online, but as always, leave your feedback below as I will try and read it all. Okay, so just a quick recap of this to set the scene. So the nuclear test goes off, so the very first one, which once again kind of wakes that creature from beyond, which spews out Bob and multiple eggs by the look of it. The other side of that is the entities or the aliens that create the sphere of Laura Palmer. Cut to 10 years later, the egg hatches out, and out comes a frog slash locust, or maybe cicada, some frog slash insect. So at that point we see the woodsman incapacitate an entire town by taking over the radio station, and the creature crawls into the girl's mouth. So that's the kind of the set the scene as to what I'm trying to go over here. So my immediate thought when I was watching this is that this was to do with Laura Palmer. So my first thought was that this young girl is actually Laura Palmer's mother. Now there's a few reasons I thought that. One, that the age seems about right. So if you take the age of Laura Palmer's mother, it does kind of match the age of this girl. So that was my first thought. The next main point that makes me think this is to do with Laura Palmer is the scene just prior to the egg hatching. We see those entities release the sphere of Laura Palmer and it lands in North America. Then the very next scene is the cut of the egg hatching. 10 years later, the egg hatches. So that's why I think that that's a build-up, that suggestion there is it rolls over. I guess the egg could, the creature that's crawled into the mother could lay dormant within her until the time is right, till she's pregnant. Then it could pass on some knowledge or something to Laura Palmer. I don't know, but that was my initial thought. Now I admit, this is full of flaws. I guess the main ones that immediately spring to my mind. The whole scene is so evil. The woodsman, the creature, it doesn't match the idea of Laura Palmer being a good entity in the world, or being to combat Bob. If that's what the suggestion here is, that Laura's good, Bob is evil, and there's some good versus evil situation. This whole scene of the creature going into that girl is not a positive, good thing. So that kind of cancels out. Also, I guess a few other things. The location is obviously wrong as well. It's not Twin Peaks. Obviously, people can move around, but just another little thing that stacks up. Another thing here, the young girl as well, she was not named in the credits. If she was named Laura Palmer's mother, which is Sarah Palmer, that would be obviously a big clue, but she's not. So once again, a few things there which don't match. Okay, so now option 2. Very similar to option 1, but this time, instead of the girl being the host to something to do with Laura Palmer, this time she's just a host for Bob. Or she spawns Bob from this creature. So the woodsman's assistance makes sense with this one. So the woodsman helping, take out the town, knock everyone out, killing people. It makes sense. It matches the Bob persona, the evil. But that's where it stops for me. There's many flaws with this one as well. Our first one is Bob has never had a physical form that we've seen. Maybe he did originally. That's one possibility, which kind of makes me think there's something to do here with Bob. But I don't ever recall Bob ever having a physical form. Obviously, he kind of takes over people. So maybe this is a version of that, but I don't think so. So, for the most part, Bob seems more spiritual and mental as opposed to physical. So that kind of doesn't match. Another big one here is the eggs. When the creature spews out Bob and these eggs, Bob is separate to these eggs. So how is he now in the egg and there's multiple eggs? So it kind of, that again doesn't really match. Yeah, I think that's, once again, there's many flaws with that option. But I think they're both viable if we're looking at how the show goes. I think they're both viable options. Now, the problem is with both these options, there's many things that contradict them as well. So option 3. It's not so much option 3, it's just pointing out the multiple flaws with option 1 and 2. But I guess you could say there is a theory in option 3 as well. So the thing is, we have multiples here. So we see when the creature vomits that we have Bob in there, and we have multiple eggs. Admittedly, we only see one hatch, but to add to this argument, why would the woodsman incapacitate an entire town just to get this one girl? Unless there's multiple creatures involved here. So taking many hosts, many human hosts are getting these creatures inside them. So if you stack that up, so we've got many eggs, many people being taken out. So already this kind of rules out the whole Bob and Laura scenario, because obviously that's just two people. So this leads on to many other options, I believe. So could this just be a seed of evil? Could this just be a suggestion of the downfall of, culture or mankind or the human race? And this is how a seed begins of evil, that this town is now the seed of evil, and it's going to spread throughout the whole country and then the world? Or could it, another option I think as well, could it just be some kind of human host for the woodsman? The woodsmen are so heavily involved here. Maybe they're trying to get a more physical form, a more permanent form, and that's how they do it. So maybe we're looking at Bob being released and the woodsman has something to do with the eggs. That could be an option. Another thing here as well, being that this creature was part frog, part locust, there's a heavy religious suggestion here as well about the religious plagues. So possibly, once again, it kind of comes back to this maybe being the start of an evil plague upon mankind. So there's three main points here. So it could be Laura, I think, is one option. Could be Bob is another. And it could be something bigger that we don't understand yet. But I think anything at this point is an option for Twin Peaks. It's so abstract, philosophical, it's amazing. You can really go any direction. But I'll leave this video here anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you maybe got some ideas from it. And as always, I value your opinion. So please leave feedback below on how you've interpreted the scene and how do you think any of my theories are correct. Did you have your own theories you want to share? I will try to read them, and I always really appreciate your feedback. So thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe for future content from me here. I will aim to continue with Twin Peaks, and also I'll try to include a bit of Game of Thrones going forward as well. Let's see how I go with that. But anyway, until next time, this is Mesh, and I'll see you later.